Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Let's go. Hey fam, y'all miss me? So I haven't made a video in a long time. This whole month, I think it's almost 2 months, tell you truly, since I had my surgery. It is June 9th was my surgery. So July, August, yeah, 2 months. Since I've had my surgery, I have had nothing but several doctor's appointments. Oh, more than several. Every week, I'm going to either one or two doctor's appointments to make sure that everything is okay. All my levels are okay. I've gotten more blood work and I've been poked like a pincushion than I possibly can be poked anymore. So here is a story time about what happened when I saw the nurse who told me I didn't need a mammogram. Stay tuned, y'all. So it all starts on June 25th. June 25th, I had a doctor's appointment with my primary care doctor. I love my primary care doctor, but she was been a little different lately. Since I've been diagnosed, I haven't heard anything from her. So I was more focused on my breast and seeing the breast specialist. So I, didn't set up an appointment. So I got a phone call that I had an appointment that week. So June 25th, this primary care doctor called me in. She goes, "You got to come in. I need to see you. Haven't seen you in a while." I said, "Okay, no problem." So I went in. My mom was upset because she hasn't heard from the primary care doctor either. So she's like, "I'm going with you and we're going to get a new primary care doctor." And I was down. I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll go to yours. Like, let's go." As I get there, they immediately tell my mom, "No guests due to COVID. It's just the client that we're seeing and you have to wait in the car." So my mom's out the car, or my mom had to go back to the car. And now it's just me and in the office and the office staff. And I'm waiting in the front room and I'm upset because, like I said, I haven't heard anything from my primary care doctor. She was slacking, y'all. And I was like, at this point, I need answers. I'm getting all my prescriptions refilled. I'm out of here and I'm transferring my medical records to my mom's doctor and I'm out. Well, things didn't go like I planned. So as I got there, of course, you got to do your check-in. They need your insurance card. They need your license. They need all this new stuff. So I sat there, I gave it to them. And then the nurse calls me back. So I sat there and it was a new nurse. And I got a new young nurse, and I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" She's, "Hi." And she was very friendly, very good nurse. And she'd check your weight, check your vitals, make sure everything's okay. And she takes me to the room. So she didn't check my blood pressure this time, but she checked me to the room. And I sat there and I said, "Hey, by any chance, the older nurse," and I won't say her name, I'm going to give her a nickname. Michelle, because I have a book of Michelle Obama on my table. Michelle is here. Is Michelle here by any chance? And she says, "Yeah, actually, she's next door." I said, "I don't want to see her because I have nothing nice to say to her." And she was like, "Okay." And she was like, "She may pop in because I'm new. I'm pretty much an intern at this new office." And she comes in and makes sure that everything's correct on that I did. And I just gave her a look. So I was like, "No, she doesn't need to come in this room because you don't know what's going to happen, Linda. I'm about to pop off." You got to clap when you say it, but I didn't do it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So all of a sudden, I hear a knock at the door. It's my doctor. It's Michelle. And they're all outside the door. And I'm like, "Oh, that was fast. Y'all ready to see me?" She didn't get my blood pressure yet. And my doctor was like, "No, I'm performing something next door, and I thought that the intern would like to see it. Is it okay if I grab her and give you Michelle?" And I looked at my doctor and I'm like, "I'm warning you, like, stop trying to give me Michelle." I just gave her this look like, "You don't understand. Me and Michelle gonna have an exchange of words." And she was like, "It's okay, Malaysia." And she pushes Michelle in the door and the intern leaves. But as the intern leaves, she got this look like, what's about to go down? Because now I'm upset. So I still had drainage tubes in, to be exact. Did I drain? Yeah, I had one in. No, I had two in, one on each side. So I have on my double mastectomy shirt, you guys remember, the black button up. And I'm sitting at the table, or sitting on this patient's bed, whatever you want to call it. And my foot is thumping. And literally, she's like, "Hi, how are you?" I'm like, "Good." Everything was attitude. Good. And she's like, "Mm-hmm." And she goes, "I need to get your blood pressure." Well, since I had a lymph node removed on the left side, you can't do blood pressure on this side. So you got to do on the right. She goes, "Why?" I said, "I'm glad you asked." And literally after that, you guys, I blacked out and went off. Well, I really didn't black out because I remember what I said. But she done went from Malaysia and now she about to get Asia because now I'm mad. I said, do you remember who I am? And she was like, "Wait, let me look at your chart." So she goes through my chart. "Oh yeah, I remember you." I said, "The reason why you can't get any reading off the left is because I had breast cancer." And she goes, "Okay." Like, she was lost. She couldn't figure out why I was getting high. I was like, "Do you remember what you said to me?" She goes, "No, I don't recall." "Oh, I remember you, but I don't recall." I said, "The last time I came in here, I asked you, can you write a referral for me or write a note to the doctor that I needed a mammogram? And you told me no. You're too young. You just might need an ultrasound, but I don't even think you need that. You're being dramatic. It's okay. Do you remember me now?" And then she stops and goes, "No, I would never say that. Like, I promise I would never say that. My sister had breast cancer." I said, "Oh, Michelle." And then I looked at her name tag. I decided I wanted to move her hair. I said, "It's Michelle, right?" And she says, "Yeah." I said, "It was you. You're the only older nurse in here." And that was me being nice because she is the senior nurse there, but my bad. At this point, I'm pissed. So I'm like, "It was you. You're the only older nurse here." And she goes, "What?" I said, "It was you. You decided to tell me that I didn't need a mammogram. And due to that, I'm already terrified because my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mom had it. I was willing to go with anything. All I needed was one note and I was good. I almost sat there and said, 'No, I'm good.' And thank God I went to your doctor of the office, my doctor, and told her, 'Hey, before we end this session,' if she didn't ask me, 'Hey, is there anything else you may need?' I said, 'Hey, can I get a mammogram because I feel something going on?' God knows I would be okay with my original boobs and living with cancer, and no one would have checked it. All I needed was one no to hear, and I was fine. And at this point, I decided to listen to you, and I almost didn't ask her. It's your fault." And at this point, I got loud. I mean, I got real crunk. Like, it's your fault. I almost listened to you, and I almost lived with breast cancer. And then what's worse, my oncologist told me if I waited at least 10 years without getting a mammogram or anything, it could have been worse. Not stage 0 that I was, thankfully, I don't want to say blessed, but blessed with. It could have been stage 2 and more, which means I would have had to go through chemo, radiation, probably proton therapy, and any other therapy treatments, thanks to you. And as I said it, I realized I went from sitting to standing. And you guys know I'm 6'4". So she's like maybe 5'7", maybe 5'8". And I'm standing. So I look like somebody's mom schooling a kid. And I was pointing at her like this. By the time I finished and came back to, this lady was crying, you guys. She boo-hooed her eyes out. And then all of a sudden, the doctor walks in. 2 nurses walked in because they heard me. I wasn't quiet, you guys. I was loud. I was pissed. And oh, by the way, when she said that, I also snapped my shirt down and I showed her my scar. I have, like I said, I have implants and I have a big mastectomy scar on both. So I said, like, I had no shame. Past girl gone wild. It was me. Should it have a censor bar? I literally opened it up like, thanks to you, my boobs are cut off. And I almost didn't listen to you. Like, I almost listened to you, I should say. And she started crying. And I never would say that to somebody. I said, you did. And she goes, I'm sorry if I did. And then she thought about it, and then she waited. She goes, I do remember saying that to you. I'm sorry. By this point, you just admitted that you did say it. It took you a whole, 5 minutes of me yelling at you to sit there to get you to confess that you actually said it. I wish I had like a GoPro or whatever those hidden cameras are in a shirt. So people are probably not going to believe me. But let me go on with the story. The doctor walks in and 2 other nurses walk in, one that I know very well. And she said, what's going on? At least the nurse did. I said, you remember me? She goes, how could I forget you? Like, you were one of the most funniest clients that we have. I said, do you remember the last time I was here and I came out the room and I rolled my eyes and you start dying laughing at the desk with like, I needed this because I was tired and sleepy and you make my day? She was like, I remember that. And I said, I rolled my eyes at who? She says, Michelle. I said, exactly. I said, do you remember what I told you? And she said, yeah, she told you didn't need a mammogram. And she goes, doctor, almost said her name, said you could have one. And we solved it that way. But yeah, she told you shouldn't have one because you were under 25 or under 30 or whatever the age was. But we got it solved. I said, exactly. But she just denied. But after you guys busted the door, she finally admitted that, she did say it. And she just looked at her and she was like, you need to leave. And the nurse said, it's like, you got to leave. You can't do that. Like, you got to go. So they literally are taking her out she's like a little old lady. They take her out and she's still sobbing loud. And my doctor was like, what'd you do? Like, everyone knows I'm feisty. And she was like, Malaysia, what'd you do? I was like, you better hope, in my head, I'm looking like, you better hope that I don't get rid of you. I'm like, I want a prescription on all my refills, a refill on all my prescriptions. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. I want a refill on all my prescriptions. Let's do an annual checkup. These are my scars. Shirt still unbuttoned as I'm talking, y'all. I probably done flashed the whole hallway and the doctors and the nurse. At this point, no filter. I don't care. I'm pissed. What else we got next? Anything you need to check? She's like, Malaysia, calm down. No, I don't want to calm down. I want to leave. I want a new doctor. I don't want to see that nurse. Get me out of here. And I looked, she's like, Malaysia. I was like, I'm ready to go. My mom's in the parking lot. She won't let me drive. So she decided to come. You're lucky you didn't get Jackie because Jackie don't play. And she's like, it's okay. Calm down. So after her telling me to calm down 5 times, I finally calmed down. And she's like, let's just, go over that you beat cancer. And in my head, I'm like, and literally in my face, I am horrible. I don't know about anybody else. I cannot hide my facial expressions. So you know me. I was sitting on the bed like, She was like, you beat cancer. Okay. What's next? I was so rude. And she's like, we just want to do a checkup, make sure everything's okay. And I need to see you in 4 weeks. I said, I think I'm going to transfer doctor. She was like, no, you're not. I won't let you. What? She was like, I won't let you because you're upset right now with the nurse. And I get it. I would be upset too if someone told me that. So she apologized for the nurse. And now the other nurse came back in the room and she apologized. And she was like, I'm sorry for her. So we went on with my appointment and we went on with the checkup and she kicked me on out the room and I had to go to checkout. So I go to checkout to make my 4-week appointment. And the nurse is still sobbing. So behind the nurse's desk is, I guess, their break room or their lunch room. And you could hear her. I swear. And you could hear her. So the nurse that came in the room that knew me, and she was like, you done started it up today. She said, every time you come, it'll never be a dull moment. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, but I was right. I wouldn't sit there and tell a lie on anybody. She goes, oh, I know that. She goes, she said it because she told several other people that as well. And when she said that, I was like, did you call them? And she's like, when I found out that she said that to the other individuals, I told the doctor, and the doctor called them and gave them a referral for a mammogram. I don't play with it. And then she goes, my mom had it. So I make sure I go around her and make sure that the client that may have a concern for it gets a referral, or, get the paperwork to get the prescription to get a mammogram. So she goes, Malaysia, we'll see you in 4 weeks. And I promise you, you won't have to worry about it again. I said, okay. So 4 weeks happened not too long ago, you guys. And I went to the office. Mom didn't go in with me on this one. And you know me, I'm still stubborn. So I'm standing there with my hands crossed and patting my foot. She's like, Malaysia, it's okay. My best nurse was there. I love her. I don't want to say her name, but she's really nice. And she was like, oh, okay, well, the nurses are going to call you back. So I looked at her when she said it. She goes, oh, no, honey, you're not getting her. I'm like, I'm not getting who? She's like, you're not going to get Michelle. There's a note in my chart now that says, never let Malaysia get Michelle as a nurse. I don't want her as a nurse. I'm still trying to figure out how she got her license. And so as I walk back through on my monthly check-in with my doctor, she's at the desk. The lady saw me, and when I tell you she got up like SpongeBob, I gotta head out. And she walked out. The lady left. She went to the whole thing. She didn't look she saw me one time and she looked out. Eye contact was real quick. And by the time I came back out the room to get my weight and blood pressure checked, she was gone. I don't know where she went. And I had an 8 o'clock appointment. It was like 8:15. She was out of there. Bye, Michelle. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, lo and behold, I had my doctor's appointment and everything. So my doctor's appointment went well. Thank God, all of them. I literally went to go see everybody. I went to see the endo, the oncologist, everyone. Like, I can't sit there and risk anything. I am terrified. And low key, let me know if any other individuals who had a sickness or any type of illness sat there. Did you guys develop PTSD? And I'm a mental health therapist. So sitting here and dealing with my clients, I realized that I low-key developed PTSD from doctor's appointments. So like, if I know it's coming up, let's say if it's a Thursday, I'm not sleeping Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or until Thursday night. And that's when I get my sleep. I am terrified of doctor's appointments. And I work practically with some doctors. Like, I am terrified of a doctor's appointment now. That has never been me. I've always loved the dentist, doctors. There's nothing wrong. Go ahead, check me. Like, now it's like, I don't want to go. I've developed this fear and I'm trying to break it. It's very hard. So if any individuals know what they do or tell me what they do when they go to their doctor's appointments and they have anxiety or something, I don't know if it's anxiety or PTSD. What do they do before they go in? Because I tell you, I don't get sleep. I'm up bothering either my friends, my boo, somebody gonna be up with me because I can't sleep. And I'm terrified. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking. I guess, let me not lie. I'm thinking that if I go to a doctor's appointment, they're gonna sit there and tell me, hey, we found cancer here or found cancer somewhere else. And I don't know about anybody else, but I consider myself the worry bot. So I'm the one, I literally look up, was it WebMD? On everything. So it's not, don't do that to yourselves. I'm that one that, don't let me cough too hard. Oh, I got throat cancer. Don't let me, oh God, my eye's itchy. Is there eye cancer? I didn't even know there was that many cancers out here, you guys. Anything that hurted, felt bad, burned, tinged, anything, I was like, oh, cancer. And I didn't want to go to a doctor. I didn't want to do no blood work. I was terrified. It took me a lot of chutzpah, I guess that's what you want to call it, because I was terrified to go. I personally couldn't take another diagnosis of anything. Nothing. I was like, I can't risk it. And so I almost was the individual who said, I don't want to go to a doctor's appointment anymore. But when your mom's a nurse, she's not letting it happen. So I went, and all my friends were like, do you need me to go? I'll go with you. I'm like, no, it's okay. And I went, but I don't know. I think I've low-key developed either anxiety, PTSD. I don't know. I got to figure that one out. As a therapist, you would think I would know, but I don't know what you want to call it. It's not like I have an anxiety attack. Well, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm just like restless the day before. But that's just another day in Aisha's world. But that was my story time. I miss you guys so much. And I'll be making some more videos. It's just I needed a break. Aisha was tired. All right, y'all. Miss y'all.